Hey everyone, I'm James Albarracin, a co-founder and CEO of Family. So I'm going to be walking you through our hackathon submission today and showcasing the open beta of our protocol. For those who don't know what Family's been up to the past few years, we're initially one of the first projects to deploy a digital clothing line back in 2022 and 2024. Now we're transitioning into a digital product passport solution for enterprises and corporations, allowing them to comply with upcoming EU DPP regulations. This particular hackathon submission is an open beta of that protocol made for normal users and the community. So this will allow them to tokenize everyday items such as your water bottles, t-shirts, laptops, sunglasses, or pretty much any physical products you can think of. Um, this particular hackathon submission is also testing our new DPP standard that is built off LSP8 and also our new marketplace architecture using the LSP9 vaults. So let me showcase the DPP or the tokenization process first. You can go through our mini app on the testnet and test this out yourself. So this particular page itself is where the enterprises and corporations would input their DPP information. For this particular open beta, it's much more simpler. We're not requiring normal users to provide such extensive information, but for the main protocol, we'll be requiring enterprises and corporations to provide all the necessary or mandated information that the EU government requires of them. This will be much more extensive, and I think we'll have this mandated information later this year when it's released by the EU government. But for this particular hackathon submission, let's just create a testing item. So if you have a particular item that you want to tokenize, make sure that you take proper photos of that physical product to showcase what the product is. But for this particular testing, I'm just simply using a digital photo. Now with this new DPP standard that we've invented, all physical products need a UID. So the purpose of this UID is to link the physical with the digital NFT, right? So with the DPP itself. So for this particular open beta, we're using a simple 6-digit code to act as the UID. You have to make sure that you embed this UID on the physical product, using a pen or a permanent marker, ensuring that this UID stays on the physical product. Right, so this UID is going to be needed to interact with this tokenized asset. If you want to sell it, trade it, or transfer it to anyone, this needs to be interacted with. For the main protocol, this will be a URL instead of a 6-digit code. So the URL will be pointing to the DPP information. So it acts as a UID and also as a link to the DPP information that's being hosted in the clouds, right? So once you've embedded this unique ID onto the physical product, you can tokenize your asset. This will prompt your browser extension to mint you the NFT. Once that's minted and the NFT is created, you can go to a marketplace to sell it, trade it, or transfer it, right? So there's already a few listings in the marketplace, but I'll showcase the listing process of how that's done. And as you can see here, it'll showcase the tokenized asset that you did previously. Now, this particular marketplace architecture is utilizing the LSP9 vaults. So instead of having a centralized smart contract, where think of like OpenSea, where it's one singular smart contract and all the listings go into this particular smart contract, our marketplace architecture is providing vaults for users, right? So imagine each listing is a vault itself, owned by the seller. So we're just providing the platform or the UI to create this vault, and this vault will act as an escrow between the buyer and seller. So the listing process is quite simple. It's just prompting you to provide some key information such as the location, the UID code, and the condition of the product. The location is just to provide information to the buyer of where they're purchasing the product from. This is mainly to provide more information of shipping costs. The closer it is to the buyer, the cheaper it is to purchase it, right? So that now the UID code, the UID that was created to tokenize the asset will be utilized here. So make sure that you input the UID exactly as it was during the UID generation. This is to ensure that only authentic products are inside the marketplace, ensuring that you actually have the physical product in hand and you can see the URL and scan the UID or interact with the UID in hand, right? So it's just another verification system to ensure that all products in the marketplace are authentic. And now condition notes is just more information on the current state of the product itself. Just gives more information about the buyer and what they're purchasing, and provide a cost to list the product. Now the process of this is that a vault is initially created. So that's the transaction you just saw. You'll create a vault for the seller. Now this vault will act as the escrow between the seller and the buyer. And now this transaction that you're about to see is transferring the ownership of the NFT or the tokenized asset into the vault, and this vault has immutable permissions where the buyer or seller can't change. So it can act as a trusted third party between the buyer and seller. So now you can see your listing here on the marketplace. Let me transfer to my buyer profile and try showcase the buyer flow. Right now I'm in my buyer profile and I'll choose to purchase that asset we just listed before. Now when purchasing it, you'll be prompted to input your shipping details and information on where the seller should be sending this physical product to. So this will be seen by the seller and it won't be stored anywhere for the privacy of the buyer. So once you've provided all your information and you're happy with the condition the product is in and the amount it is, you can choose to purchase it. And now what this does is that it's depositing the Lux payment into the LSP9 vault that was created by the seller. Now once the buyer has deposited the Lux payment, both the seller and the buyer will go into escrow. So as you can see, you can't see the listing anymore, And once you go into your escrow, you can see that um, they can communicate freely. So a feature that we're missing our dispute system that we plan on implementing down the line, where if an issue arises, such as the seller is sent the wrong product, or the product is lost during transit, the buyer or seller can raise a dispute, and this will prompt the family admin account into the escrow, acting as the adjudicator for the escrow. So he has special permissions to allocate who receives the Lux funds or who receives the NFT. Down the line with the main protocol, this will be decentralized, where we have a juror system. So those who are participating in the ecosystem or in the protocol by staking our token that we'll be releasing down the line will be called to act as the adjudicators. So removing the family admin account from this equation and distributing the network or the educating power to the people that's participating in the ecosystem or the network, right? So once the buyers receive the physical product in hand and the seller has stripped it, the buyers received it, this will be prompted by the escrow, where they need to input the UID code in order to release the escrow. So what this means that everything has gone smoothly. The buyer has received the product that he has purchased, and now he can release the escrow by inputting the UID that's on the physical product. And what this does is that it sends the NFT or the tokenized asset to the buyer, and the buyer's Lux funds to the seller. Right? So once that's done, it'll prompt him to sign a transaction, ensuring that the UID matches with the NFT. And once that's done, it's confirmed that the product has been delivered, and now you should have your NFT that you purchase. So now you can, as the buyer that just received it, you can choose to resell it or send it to anyone you want. Yeah, I appreciate everyone for sticking this time, and hopefully you can test this out on testnet through our family mini grid mini app. Thank you. See ya.